Hey guys, Robert here, and joining me is Bianca. As I can never get that right, which way my hand is going to be gesturing. But yeah, she's here because I offered and suggested to her checking out one of actually no, my all-time favorite anime, Saber Marionette J, and it took her this long to finally finish all the series. Now, in her defense, it was two full series of 26 episodes plus a short OVA of about 6, if I recall, correct?
Yep.
Yep. So, do you see why I love it so much?
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Very, very fresh when you take into account when it came out. Like,
I
it's a
can
different
definitely
take
see
on
it.
a
Yeah.
harem. It was a different take on a harem.
hmm I haven't seen something like this before. So that was a breath of fresh air, and I really liked it. I enjoyed the from my experience.
Yeah. Now, obviously, many of you are probably wondering, especially those of you who claim anime is so big, but you probably never heard of this. What is Saber Marionette J? Well, it's a harem anime, but it's not your traditional harem. Let's put it that way, first of all. It's more in the vibe of Tenchi Muyo, where there's a bigger story beyond the harem.
I
Would
can
you?
see that. Yeah.
Yeah, would you say that? Yeah, would you say that's about right? It's like, there's the harem is there for the character setting, but it's much bigger.
Yeah. I could definitely. Yep.
Yeah,
I
unlike
haven't watched Tenchi Muyo, but I know about it. So yeah, I'm
yeah,
agree.
it's not like the slice of life harems where the harem is the main bulk of it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, but yeah, so basically, it's on this in this other world. Now, you just finished watching it. It's been a while since I've rewatched it, of course, and I don't have everything all memorized. But I'm just trying to remember the name of the planet now. Oh, Terra Two. On the
hmm
planet of Terra Two, it opens up. Basically, it's a world of men.
Yeah.
A world of men that exists because long ago a group of people had left, basically a whole ship left Earth to try and find a new place to colonize, but they ended up crash landing on there. There only one female survived and had to be put in stasis. So you had nothing but men who, but the way they do it was they used cloning technology to make new individuals by tweaking genetics and everything, which if you ask me, that's a clever way of doing it.
hmm
If your cloning technology is that good and you can change the genetics and everything, yeah, you don't have to be stuck with the everyone being basically identical clones or matching on a genetic level or anything like that. But of
Yeah.
course, men, they still need the female companionship, so they create the marionettes, basically fembots.
And I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna want to know, why don't they just clone the females?
Oh, because actually, did they ever explain that? Because they
They
left.
did,
Yeah, it's been a while. So what was
because
the
Lorelai
explanation?
was there.
Oh, right, Laura. She was there, but she was in stasis.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
So, but why
So
didn't
they
they
couldn't do
clone?
anything.
Yeah, I think they could. Yeah, so long as you're in stasis, you can't do anything. They couldn't repair the damage. So they left, and unfortunately, by the time so much time had passed, most of them, because when they make the clones, with one exception, they never remember what happened. That each clone
hmm
is their own unique being. They might be identical clones to the original crew, but again, with one exception, they never carry on the memories. But there were, and with when it comes to the marionettes, they're basically just drones, and in other versions, they are pretty much used for cleaning and doing chores, and they don't go into details about it, but other type of uses.
I remember them like saying it, hinting at it. They.
But what I like best about this though is that um yeah, you have geez, again, like I said, it's been so long. I should have been a bit more prepared. Just a sec.
Wait, what are you looking up?
Hold on. Hanagata. When you have characters like
I could have
Hanagata,
said his name.
I know, I know. I wanted to get it though. I wanted to get it.
Okay.
But it's basically this whole idea. It's a world of men. So the idea of guys being in love with another guy makes perfect sense.
It does make sense.
Because you have,
I
yeah.
had a feeling he was gay. I'm like,
Well, it's so obvious. He has a huge thing for our main character, Otaru, but Otaru's like, not interested.
nope, whack.
Oh, oh, but you want to know who the voice for
Otaru?
Hanagata was? No, Hanagata
Oh,
was. In the first dub, that was Samuel Vincent.
which one is Samuel Vincent?
Did you ever see Ed, Ed, and Eddie?
Does he play Double D?
Yep.
Gosh dang.
He was Double D. He's been
And
in,
he played Rolf. He also played Rolf in Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
yep. I am Ralph.
I am Rolf. Ed boy.
Hello, Ed boys. But
Oh
yeah,
my
but
god.
it's so obvious. Otaru, that's Brad Swiley. If you know who it is, that's such a distinctive voice.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But anyway, if circumstances eventually lead Otaru to this, and to finding a special marionette named Lime. She's one of three, well, technically six, but three was in where he lives. Japanese, clearly based on Japan, of marionettes that known as sabers. No, not sabers, was it? It was.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Saber.
Saber. Yeah. Basically, they have what's called maiden circuits, which each one of them represents a different, makes them more female-like. Gives them, but in this case, as we find out in the later OVA, you can't put all of these traits into one marionette. Their bodies can't handle it. So you have Lime, who represents childhood innocence, pretty much. You have Cherry, that represents the motherliness plus virgin fantasies all the time. And then you have Bloodberry, represents lust, adult, womanhood, and all that stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much Otaru's harem.
Aggressive nature.
The aggressiveness, yes. And now Lime, one of the cutest anime girls, and in Japan, voiced by Megumi Hayasabara, one of the most prolific anime actresses. But
I'll fight you on that. Cherry is the cutest.
yeah, but also though for Jade, unfortunately, each series has a different voice and dubbing cast. And was I right when it says it takes you a while to get used to each one?
No, the OVA had literally the best voice acting and the best directing.
Oh, really?
J to X, they went back to really bad, and I'm like, how did it become worse?
Unfortunately, it was definitely one of the lower, and one of the companies that you look through it, you can almost never find many other people's names. In fact, the only name I recognized by her role, not her character, was Lime's voice. It's in J to X, and that was because she was in Zoids.
Yeah.
But in the first J series, she's voiced by Maggie Blue O'Hara, and good God, does she nail the voice?
Oh yeah, I think it. Funny enough, I'm also watching the other one, Saber Marionette R.
Oh, R. I have not seen R because that's not in my box sense, and I know if I seen it, that's technically that's set either it's way after J to X.
I can't tell because this one is focused on like Romania, but the characters are still the same name.
Oh yeah, but it's very
but
different.
They're not the same marionettes. They're completely different.
Exactly, but it is.
But the same character for voice actress for Lime still voices the main character.
Oh, Maggie Blue.
I feel like it matches her face and how she is a lot more than the Lime character in the original. I know it sounds weird, but when you look at it, you're like, I can see it.
By the way, the company that J to X, that was Blue Water Studios in Calgary, and most of their actors have not gone on to do much else.
That's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sucks. Personally, I liked from that anime. Maybe Otaru and Bloodberry's voices. I like their voices the best. Just that they couldn't do the role very well. And probably
that was Saffron Henderson who did Bloodberry and J.
Bloodberry and From J to X or J
No,
or
just J,
J again?
just J.
Oh, just J. She was pretty good.
Yeah, that. But oh yeah, and you know who that is, right?
No.
Um, she's been in stuff like Death Note. She was Sachiko. She was the first voice for of Karen and Karane and Naruto. She was
Kyrie,
Shenhua.
you mean? Or
Yeah. And the first voice. And she was Shenhua and Black Lagoon.
all I know is Kyrie, but like I don't remember that character from Naruto. Oh my gosh, it's been so long.
Yep. And funny enough, she would eventually be replaced in J again by Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, who more recently has been replacing a lot of her roles. Then so it's like, wow, you already replaced her long ago. And Cherry's had two voices: Aaron Fitzgerald for the first half of J, and then Nicole Oliver for the second half
of the J.
Of J.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, you really couldn't.
Wow.
Nicole, and yeah, those names. Yeah, basically the first one, the first cast. Oh no, yeah, the first cast had the most prolific, of who's who of anime voice acting in Canada. The J again also had the good, but they were more the second stringers at that time anyway.
And then the J to X voice actress for Cherry is just so bad.
Yeah, almost Kendra Masan and Chuck.
And I feel bad to say that.
Oh, I agree. And the J to X for Bloodberry, completely unknown.
Really?
Yeah. But basically then in other characters you have the Shogun, who is basically the ruler of Japanese and one of the direct clones from the original colony ship, and very lovable man, but has a lot of secrets.
Very terrible secrets.
Very terrible, very much. But he's one of the few that at least he doesn't keep the memories, but he has records of everything of what happened. Basically, Japanese and Gartland, which is Japan, and with Germany, are the only ones that have had still recall about what happened long ago through different means. Now, yeah, in Gartland, you have the main antagonist, at least for J, Gerard von Faust.
I just call him Faust. It's so much shorter.
Or Kaiser. Yeah.
Or wait, isn't Kaiser just Caesar?
Actually, it's No. Kaiser is actually I forget what that means, but
because I remember in an anime, there was a guy whose nickname was Caesar, but in the Japanese they pronounced it Kaiser because that's how they pronounced it.
But anyway, he's one of the ones who would basically, once the clone reached a certain age, they would then upload the memories of his other selves. And he has his own marionette, Tiger, Lux, and Panther, each one also having their own maiden circuits. And
I kind of feel bad that I wanted them to evolve more, but you can't have them evolve just as much as the main.
Well, to be fair, in the manga, it technically they each one of them had more, but of course in the anime it was just resolved to Tiger. It was voiced by Venus Terzo, Black Arachnia from Beast Wars, Jean Grey from X-Men Evolution.
Got that one.
Yep. Wendy from Death Note.
I keep thinking about the live action because that's the only Death Note I've seen.
And Lux was actually shared the voices with Aaron Fitzgerald, who though they both voiced, and she voiced both Lime and Lux for the first 13. But again, she left for some reason, and she was replaced as well. But I'm not sure who voiced her in the J series. Colleen Wheeler.
That's amazing because when she voiced Lime, that was amazing. When she voiced Luke, it was terrible. And I'm like, how can you be the same person?
Now, Jay, again, she's voiced by Wendy Lee. Very prominent.
I knew it too. I was like, yes,
Yep,
I'm so happy.
and
I'm
then you
like,
have
wait, I don't want to finish.
right, and you have Panther. The funny thing is, Panther is the strongest, most powerful, and pretty much the leader of them. Well, in many ways, but at the same time, once Tiger comes involved, then Panther gets kind of demoted. The funny thing, the other thing I like though is when she's introduced, she's the rival to Lime because Lime was the first one. But then later on, it's made very clear, no, she's the counterpart to Bloodberry.
Yeah, I was like, because when you see the anime opening, that's the first time you know how she's the rival to Bloodberry. But then
Yeah.
I saw the anime, and then I'm like, wait, is she supposed to be a rival to Lime?
Well,
And
again,
then it's later on
it's
Bloodberry
just
again.
because Lime was first, and of course because they had their first scuffle. That's right. When she jumps in, Luke's just something like, "Oh no, you don't." But once that was resolved, then they're each matching up. But yeah, I mean, again, just now as the first couple of episodes of the J series is to introduce each character. You would have one episode to introduce them, and the next one that kind of set them up a bit more. And they did that. First, it was Lime, then Cherry, and then Bloodberry. Although Bloodberry didn't really get much of an establishing episode.
I know. I'm irritated about that.
Yeah, but yeah, it was, like I said, Lime, very childish, but not blind. And she could be naive, but then she has her moments, especially if you tick her off, where she is focused.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still remember that bit when she got kidnapped, remember?
Oh.
And remember she's being held by, in that grip of that robot and everything?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, it's like they all have been.
Yeah,
They've
but
almost all been
the first time she was kidnapped. Remember, and the guy, like one of the leader of this group is all that they think like once he's like everything's done for, he's trying to get to like, oh, I have all these other marionettes if you want or some stuff. And then I love it, they both turn around, knock it off, and here's the Otaru and Lime shove him away. Now,
yes.
the thing about these marionettes is they're still robots, so they can do all this incredible stuff more than most marionettes, but they can still have their limits.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do, they usually then let off a bunch of steam and everything, and they're like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment that defined wisdom would have to be Lime in the first episode when you have Hanagata drive right by at a puddle and not, splashing Lime, and then now normal marionette would just been standing there like, but Lime is like, she is mad, and she just chases right after him. After Hanagata catches up to his car and then grabs him and just trashes it.
Yeah, I believe he ruined something.
No, Otaru said she looked great, and then she just got splashed. Then
yeah, that's what it was. Like something got ruined, and it was
her new outfit she just got.
Yeah.
And again, I love some of the little smaller dialogues, like when the guy asks, like, that'll be however much mine, that's what their money is. And Otaru says, would you give it to me without the tax? I just love little dialogue like that, you know what I mean? It's like pointless, but it adds to the world.
Yeah, entertaining.
Yep, but yeah, we're introduced then also to the Shogun's guards, Baiko and Tamasobaru.
That one.
Yeah, Baiko's the one I kind of preferred a bit more.
Is that the green haired or the white haired?
The green haired.
I actually like the white haired one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, Tamasaru.
Yep, but yeah. So, and they are the guards, and in the very first episode, they're chasing after this one Gartland drunk. Now they have these other I should make clear, they have these other towns and cities and everything. But the only other one that's really prominent is was it New Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only other one that's really prominent.
What was the China one?
I'm looking. Okay. Oh, you have New Texas, Petersburg, which is Russia, Zion, Romana, Japanese, and Gartland.
So it was the Zion one, which is like the X to J last half, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, but now, of course, Japanese is the center of Terra 2. It is the main hub.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Now, after that, eventually they go find out a bit more about the main circuits. It's basically your own typical anime with like smaller mini arcs throughout each, the main series.
It was like a maturity in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah. And eventually they find out about with Gartland. They end up dealing with them from Gartland. Tiger, if I remember right, again, it's been a while since I've rewatched it all the way through.
You're doing great though.
Yep. But if I remember right, then eventually then the Gartland Saber dolls get if I remember right, they lose their memories, don't they? Or at least Tiger does.
Yeah.
Or they all yeah. And they befriend them and everything. But eventually, once Faust shows back up, then they're right. They even though it's clearly a little bit of them not wanting to, they go right back to him.
So it was only Tiger
It was
who
only Tiger, right?
she lost her memories, but that was in J again. She got it back at the end of J
Right,
again.
right. Well,
In
that was because she sacrificed her maiden circuit
yeah.
at the end of J to help Faust.
Hmm. And so at the end of J again, they went back to Faust.
Mm-hmm.
But then in J to X, it's no wait, sorry, went back to J and X, J to X, and then it's revealed
Well,
that
we'll get to that when we get to it. We'll
yeah.
get to that when we get to it. Right. But yeah, eventually this leads to they eventually go and the Saber dolls are sent back and kill Shogun and his aide. And no, they eventually have their bodies put into the Baiko and Tamasuburo. And basically this leads to a big confrontation in Gartland trying to find Lorelei, the last female human. As they trying to find the Mesopotamia, which they do, if I recall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then big fight. Faust realized how wrong he was, and of course, then Tiger, who had herself altered anything to help Faust, because why? She was the only Saber doll to be activated while he was growing up, so she saw the old him before he had his mind overridden.
Mm-hmm. That part was pretty sad.
That was tragic. And then so she had herself basically had he has an assistant who's really big at the end of the series, but not we don't know how big yet.
Yeah.
He ended up basically saying like, it's your emotions and everything. Allow me to put in a better circuit than the maiden circuit. They do, and it totally takes away over her emotions and makes her more powerful. But by the end, everything again it breaks. She's catatonic, and they're able to awaken Lorelei, something that Faust was never able to do in all of his incarnations. Why? Because it's always go back to Shogun and Faust, their original forms were both in love with her.
Mm-hmm.
And Faust wanted to be the one to awaken her so that he would be the winner. But in the end, he realized she never loved me.
I wasn't even sure what was going on then. She didn't choose anybody. So.
Well, to be fair, she would have picked Shogun, but there's nothing left.
Mm.
If I remember right then, Tamasuburo and Baiko, they sacrificed themselves.
Yep.
Didn't they? Yeah, they did, right?
They did.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So really, she had but then so Lorelei takes over as ruler of Japanese and decides to try and restart up, cloning new female girls, and and that's the end of J. When J again happens, they're still working on it. It's still not finished yet, and then that becomes the big plot point of J to X. Now J again, like I said, this is where it's find out why don't the dolls have all three maiden circuits so they can be a full woman. Again, their body can't handle it. So we're introduced to
the new one.
Yeah, the new one. It was Marine.
Yeah.
Marine. She has been awakened, and she's the one that has all three maiden circuits. which basically then puts her, and turns out she was built by New Texas as a prototype weapon to deal with a threat of a catastrophic plasma storm. But unfortunately, she was sealed away because she was too dangerous to use.
Correct.
Yep. So basically, the whole point of J again is just a bunch. First, a bunch of antics with the Gartland dolls, and then trying to understand more about Marine, and then eventually Marine sacrifices herself to stop this plasma storm and everything. And Tiger's and Luke's is not Luke's. Tiger is back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a nice, short, self-contained little OVA that bridges the two, even though technically, aside from Tiger coming back, it really doesn't amount to much when you think about it in the end.
Yeah, there was also the subplot in there that after the whole thing that happened in the first series, Faust gave Otaru his marionettes. Because they're not womanly, they can't cook, they can't do chores. Teach them all that stuff.
Well, that and trying to deal with Tiger because she's again catatonic. And but again, it is hilarious, as you know, especially Luke's trying to learn how to cook and everything, and apparently she's as much of virgin fantasies for Faust as Cherry is for Otaru. You know what? Let's get back to talking about the marionettes a bit more, especially Cherry. Cherry, oh boy, she's one of the, even, I don't know who's the bigger case of Beware the Nice One, her or Lime. That's hard, isn't it? That's hard.
Lime. I think it would actually be Lime.
Yeah.
Because Cherry fantasizes, but Lime actually does it.
True.
She would just go straight for it. And
True.
Since she's pretty naive, sometimes she may not know, so she'll just ask about it or whatever.
Yep. Oh, by the way, Bridget Hoffman was the voice for Cherry in J Again.
J Again. I feel like I've heard of Bridget Hoffman.
Well, first of all, you want to know what she's known for outside of anime?
Sure.
The iconic Evil Dead poster of the woman coming out of the ground? That's her.
Oh.
But she's been stuff like Ah My Goddess, Chobits.
Who did she play in Chobits?
Chi.
Oh.
Oh, you know about Chobits. You know about Chobits.
I know about Chobits. I was on a Crispin Freeman phase, so I was watching everything he was in.
Yep.
I didn't know Chobits was made by a woman.
Yep. And she was also in the manga entertainment version of Lupin the Third, Castle of Cagliostro as Clarice. That's the one where you had David Hayter as Lupin.
I didn't see any of the Lupins.
Yep. She was also in Love Hina. She's you ever seen Haruhi Suzumiya?
Yeah.
She's the character of Ryoko. Let me double check which one that was. That's not one of the main characters. That was
the one with the thick eyebrows, is she?
She's the one she's the one in the disappearance one who was ready to stab Kyon.
Oh, yeah. I know. I know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Phase.
Yep. Oh, I love Haruhi Suzumiya. I love that anime. That's another one of my favorites. But yeah, I mean, she's done a lot as well. But yeah, that was her. She was the ADR director as well for J Again, which probably explains why it's so good.
She did great.
Yeah. But again, with Cherry, I gotta say though, I like Bloodberry, but she doesn't get that much.
I know! It's irritating!
I mean, except for J2X. J2X is the only time, but even then it wasn't that much.
It's disappointing.
Yeah. But yeah, because she never gets much of an episode to herself. She doesn't get much of a personality. It's like she's the one who's there for the fan service.
Yeah, and then I'm like, really?
Yeah, and it's just like she is a great.
It's always ruined by somebody else, whether Otaru or Lime.
Yeah. But again, it's like she's the flattest character, unfortunately.
Like I was like, you know what? Just stay with Akashi. You know, just stay with him. He treats you better. He's giving you the love you deserve. He's giving you the love you need. He's recognizing you as your own individual person. But she's like, oh
Yeah, yeah.
no, you know, maiden circuit. Whoever you see first, boom, that's where you're attracted to. Which
Oh,
is
I just realized there's a plot point we forgot in J.
Jay again or Jay?
In J,
Oh,
Otaru's sensei,
oh,
Sound
that's
Man of
right.
Ichi. Oh God, boy, talk about tragic.
It was so tragic. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, basically, he's always been the stoic guy, but it turns out he, in a moment of weakness, steals Lime's maiden circuit. Why? Because he actually was in love with his own marionette, Koike.
Mm-hmm.
And he thought he just wanted to see her smile. That's all he wanted.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, and that just felt so. And it turns out he was one of Faust's spies.
Mm-hmm. I was like, really, bro?
Yeah, and I didn't see that coming, but at the same time, no, you feel bad.
Yeah, I felt super bad.
Yeah, because it's just like, oh man. But but okay. Anyway, but yeah, though. I mean, sorry, I was just looking at a few other things. But yeah. So yeah, we go to J to X now. J to X, yeah, the new human clones are about to be born. You know, come to fruition and everything. Everyone's so happy and being prepared. And again, the first couple episodes, it's just reintroducing the characters, but also having them fully realize themselves. If I remember right, that was it, or was that in J? No, wait, that was in J. The first time they had to realize themselves, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that was the other subplot. That was the other subplot. They had to awaken themselves and fully activate their maiden circuits.
mm-hmm. And here, like, there's obviously still learning. For the first couple of episodes, they were doing this thing where they would like
Oh, right.
imagine themselves in the future and in high school, and I honestly hated that so much. I'm like, that's not necessary. You don't know what this high school is. Why are you wearing high school clothing? You don't know what that is
True.
because it hasn't happened yet, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not necessary.
But then you have one moment I do like. It's when one of the babies has been abducted.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And no one knows what's going on. And by the end of it all, Cherry saves it and then realizes, what does it need? It needs to be fed. If I remember
Yeah,
right.
I does she have
That
this?
was you don't know, but who knows? Maybe
It's like sometimes they say, "Oh, it's probably like the feeling or the act rather than
yeah, and
what's actually."
which it probably was, which I think it probably was.
Hmm,
But that was a touching moment, though.
it
But
was.
but it's one of those things. Basically, though, the first thing they're trying to show that the marionettes are trying to go beyond what they've been. But
Except for Bloodberry.
except for Bloodberry. But then they go to New Texas, and it turns out there's a bigger conspiracy going on there.
Yeah, which Faust tries to look into and then gets
Yep.
captured.
Yep. And then the girls get captured and their minds erased and sent away from Otaru. And
Mm-hmm.
he's trying to find them. And that takes up the bulk of the series. And it's a bit of a slog, if you ask me.
It is. I'm like, I'm happy
That is
with
where the
what they
problem is.
did.
Yeah.
With their lives and everything, and that
Oh, and I
they're
get it.
happy.
You had to do it. You had to do
Mm-hmm.
it to have them actually show them being themselves without being obsessed over Otaru.
And it was great. I loved Akashi with Bloodberry so
Oh,
much.
oh yeah, I know. Wait, what was Lime again?
She was a nurse.
Oh, right. And Cherry was.
She was a caretaker at a monk temple place where
Oh,
she
that
took care
makes
of the
sense.
kids.
That
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. Again, motherly and all that. Lime as a nurse again.
Except where one had a crush on her.
All right, but again, no. I mean, but then eventually Otaru shows up. They regather them together and everything, and it turns out what we think from when Faust has gone back to being evil. Turns out it was just another clone uploaded with the memories.
Mm-hmm. Also, that
Yeah,
monk gave Cherry really bad advice.
yeah, I recall that now. But yeah,
Oh my gosh.
but then by the climax, we find out the old man, the assistant to Faust, he actually is way older than anyone knew. He's from before even the Mesopotamia crashed.
which is the first ship, or technically was the first ship.
Yes, and he crash landed on it. And he thought he was abandoned. He thought he was left behind. And while his ship left, so they thought they abandoned me. So now, after all this time, I'm going to do what it takes to go back there and make them pay. And the girls go on board. Yep, and the girls go on board to try and stop him. And what? And he's been modifying himself for so long to keep himself alive just for this moment.
400 years.
400 years. Damn, right?
I'm like, bro, how are you alive? And they was like, oh, he like modified his body, like he's mostly like mostly robot parts.
Or going into stasis until he was needed.
Yeah.
Hess was his name.
Oh, I would have told you that.
Yeah. And eventually then once they now remind me, was the whole point of them asking him who would you marry before they left, or before that was before they left, right?
It was before they left to get
Dr.
Hess.
Yeah.
And I hated it. I hated it. I hated when
he answers it. He answers it, but we don't know what it is. But the girls all smile like they accept it.
So he rather said nobody, all of them, or lime, because that's the rule of a harem anime. The first girl you look at, that's the forever part.
Yeah.
And that was lime.
And
but I'm like, they're not going to tell us. I hate it.
But I don't think there was going to be nobody or just all of you, because they just said, no, you can't do that.
So it was going to be lime.
I would have that feeling though it's the two of them.
Yeah, they're always together, and that's why it made such a freaking big deal with Bloodberry, which she had her own episode about, and it ended up being nothing.
And you knew with Cherry it was never going to happen. When someone's obsessive like that, never going to happen. That's one thing I've noticed in harem animes. If the girl is just having all those virgin fangs and everything, never happens. Mm-hmm. Never happens. But anyway, when they finally make it towards Earth, they find out his ship got destroyed in the asteroids. No one knew, and he felt devastated. So but the ship's going to blow, or the ship's going to blow.
Yeah.
And the girls they sacrifice themselves so that basically keep it contained, and somehow they die. Wow. Yeah. But their souls somehow head over into new their souls or spirits or whatever go into the new children.
Yeah.
And Otaru now raises them like they're his daughters.
But they don't. It's so
no memories. They just have the personalities.
They still have the personalities. They still notice him as Otaru. They still call him master, and they don't really prefer to call him dad or daddy unless he corrects them. And Cherry still has those virgin fantasies, and that's freaking weird.
But he looks at them like daughters.
He does, and I'm like, this doesn't work.
It's adorable, but I don't know if that was a dub thing and the Japanese did it differently.
No. Like for the Cherry part,
you're right.
They freaking showed it, like her virgin fantasies, and I'm like, girl, that's supposed to be your dad. He's raising you. Don't be gross.
It's not even when you come of age, he's gonna be too old.
Exactly. Dang it! If only Bloodberry was a little bit older, she would have still stayed with Akashi.
Yep, but but again, it told a complete story, which I like. Not many animes do that.
Yeah.
So it tells
a lucky.
Yep, but here's the other stuff. There's also a manga adaptation, and good God, does it deviate?
But why is the cover different from the inside?
I have no idea. Hold on, according to this also, I'm looking on TV shows about this. The controversial, Saber Marionette Z. Never mind. There was a Z manga that ended up being set even further afterwards, and
wow, they still have robots. I thought they were going into the whole female creation thing.
Actually, here's what it says. The story is that even though it's by then normal with human women on Terra 2, maiden circuits are made for every marionette, and some choose to turn evil. The main marionette, Zero, has combat tentacles that's used to absorb the other maidens and gain their skills. It only reached 7 chapters with a huge art shift in chapter 6. It was never collected into a whole volume. It caused such a stir that the franchise was put on hold until bought in 2015.
Wow, it was so sucked.
Yeah, it must have.
Only 7 freaking chapters?
Yep. Oh, and it turns out J again was originally supposed to be episode 26.
Oh, I
That's
mean,
why.
yeah, I guess that makes sense.
But anyway, with the manga, it's very condensed and goes in very different directions. But also the artist, he's a hentai artist.
You always gotta hire them hentai artists.
Yep, I mean he handles the girls pretty well for obvious reasons. But unfortunately, it leads to things like when, the Lorelei image. They just copied that right from the anime.
Yeah, she's the only one that looks the same, and Otaru.
Yep, and but yeah, basically then because here's the thing, when we first introduced to Lime, she's wearing a jumpsuit, and she's completely catatonic until she activates. Here, she acts like a normal maiden, and she's completely naked.
Oh, funny enough, they did something to Bloodberry's outfit from I think J and J again, her outfit was normal or regular, I guess, but in X to J, they covered the middle part. Like
Yeah,
they gave her
they
a piece of
covered the
clothing.
cleavage. They covered the cleavage as opposed
And
to
I'm like, why?
I have no idea.
It
but
makes no sense. Like it's still
again, here's just moments as well. Lime again. She's acting like a normal marionette. Like then dress me. I'm gonna die of blood loss at this rate. And Otaru's more of a pervert. That's yes. We didn't talk much about Otaru. He's a good character, good guy. Definitely nowhere near as pervy as in here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I do like
so
that.
I was looking at TV tropes of this too, and it said like Otaru's probably like asexual, and I'm like, I don't know about that. He still has some moments where he's like looking at their chest or whatever.
Yeah,
but
nowhere near like this.
And he gives that stupid line, "I'm not attracted to you because I find you as human beings," and I'm like, what? Okay.
What? But again, Otaru, he's a good character.
He's
very
a great
good
kid.
Yeah, and now to be fair, him not knowing what marriage is, I can see why that makes sense.
Him and Lime, yeah, they didn't know what marriage was. What's marriage? Yep. And I'm like, okay, but Hanagata knew what marriage was.
But he's the upper class, so.
Well, I mean, all around, they knew what marriage was, but probably because of their old age.
True, due to their old age. Oh, but like I say, I like this. Once Lime in the manga is activated, she's all hugging, glomping on her, say, "It's so kind of you to carry me, Master. You are big and strong. And what have I been doing until now?" I do love that, you know what I mean?
Also, I find it weird how they're like because of Otaru activating their maiden circuits in a way, they become like stronger. So when they lose their memories in that China place Xino or something like that, Zeon, like they become extremely weak. They can't take care of themselves until they see Otaru again, and then they just brings it back up to their original strength. And I'm like, you could have had it with the Kashi Bloodberry.
Yep. Oh, one other thing. In the manga, Cherry and not Cherry. Yeah, Cherry and Bloodberry are activated together.
Oh.
Look at the outfit. Yeah, now they're wearing. Now, why is it Lion was naked, but they're wearing outfits? Well, barely.
They're selective.
But yeah, basically throughout this, it condenses a lot of the anime, but then it goes still into different routes, especially when it does their take on the whole the Saber dolls having their memories wiped, or they lost their memories, and after the hot springs incident.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It was with the plasma stuff. I thought it was because they were in water.
No, it was the plasma. I gotta say this. But yeah, basically Otaru gets sick. Then one point when they say, "What do you need?" he says, "Melons." So they think, "Oh, we know what he wants." And I do love it all. You see Tiger and Bloodberry like, if that's what he wants, oh please, I'll win this hands down. Luke's to the Cherry. You needn't bother, Cherry. He said melons, not berries. Oh, stop it. Tiny and bitey.
No, they're so mean to Cherry.
But then I love it though. It was Lime. She's not sure, and she says, "Mine are big enough, aren't they?" And Lime and Cherry's all like, "Yes, Lime, you're just perfect." But it's like, okay, and Cherry, don't be mad at her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually then Otaru gets like the biggest nosebleed of all. Right down, right into the floor of the people beneath him, and then later, Otaru-sama, he needs another blood transfusion. I don't blame him. 6 naked ladies like that. Most of them with
and J again, it was almost similar, but they were wearing bikinis, with just different
right,
types of bikinis.
right.
I did not like Panther's haircut in that version.
Oh no, me
And
neither.
then in X to J, she went from short hair to long hair, and I'm like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
You literally buzz cut your head, and then it just grew all back. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, but by the end of it all, and the end of the series, for one, instead of going to Tamasuburo, the Shogun is put into Baiko, and everything goes to hell, and eventually all of Gartland, or at least the Gartland castle, is destroyed, along with Faust and the Saber dolls. And Lorelei with it seems, or at least it seems so. Basically, it ends then with Otaru and the girls are going to go and find the Mesopotamia, while Gesundheit. Baiko continues leading Japanese. Again, very different ending.
Mm-hmm.
And but it ends there, and it just feels like,
yeah.
I got it just because I'm a fan of the series, but by the end of it, I'm like, really? You know what I mean? And again, I don't blame Tokyo Popper. No, this is what the manga ended on.
Yeah, they always try to expand on these to get more money.
Especially when it's the an anime first, then a manga.
Yeah.
Technically, it was a light novel first, and a radio drama as well. Basically,
we got a radio.
Yeah, Saber Marionette J has been done in a multitude of different media. But yeah, yeah. Sorry. But yeah, overall though, I mean, this, again, I love it. It's one of the very underrated ones. But you know the funny thing is, you know how I first found out about this?
Was it recommended?
Nope. Do you remember you know about the website animemusicvideos.org?
No, I've never heard of that website.
That's been one of the oldest websites out there. Still active to this day. That's where people post all their anime music videos.
You get money?
You can get money during contests.
Dang it.
Yeah, it's been going on for years.
Like, none of my anime friends ever told me of this before.
What? I am surprised.
I'm surprised, too. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, animemusicvideos.org. I'm looking at it right now. Yep, still there. But yeah, I got it through because there was an anime music video of the Saber Marionette J done to Barbie Girl. Perfect song.
That's great.
Yeah, and I was able to, one of the lucky ones to get the complete series box set signed by the creator, I might add. Nice. Funny thing is though, I had to get 2 in. I had the first one sent in through Amazon. Unfortunately, the box case is completely flimsy. The box, the things holding the disc shattered, and the discs were scratched to hell. So I had to send it in for another one.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
And then once I immediately got in, I went over to Blockbusters was still around then. Got a bunch of empty cases and put them all into that.
Nice.
But I also eventually met Brad Swiley at Youmacon and had him sign my box. When he saw it, he was like, "Whoa!" He never heard of this box then, and he said like, "Oh, I love doing this series." But yeah, I mean, this is just such a fun series. Again, I wish there was a consistent cast. I really do.
Yeah.
It's such a shame. That's one of the few that's probably the biggest downside is the inconsistency of the cast. Especially Jada X. Jada X is just like, what the hell? I mean, at least it got
but the animation change, it's more cartoony. And
on the cheap. It's definitely on the cheap.
Yeah, and I was like, okay.
Now, again, that is the best animation, hands down, but it's an OVA. They almost always have the best animation.
More time on there.
Yeah, definitely more time. But again, for this whole series, again, it's not your traditional harem, really, because the harem portion is not even the focus. Not in the way most harems are, I mean.
Yes.
Because most of the time it's like, oh, who's he in love with? Who he in love with? It's like, no, that doesn't come up that often. I mean, when it does, it does. But for
It's
the
mostly
most,
by the girls because they were too obsessed with him.
yeah. But even he's all like, I love you all equally. I love you all equally. And I mean, the only person who really goes after more than the girls is Hanagata. At least until Jada X. Jada X, he kind of is there more as the friend more than anything.
Yes.
He had an opportunity. The girls were gone. He could have tried to swoop in, but he didn't even try.
Yeah, he says he likes to have like a fair what's it called, a fair fight
Yeah, fair fight,
between all that.
which you got to give him props for that.
Yeah,
You got to
he's
give
like,
the
that's
guy.
a man thing.
It is, and we forgot about Hanagata's brother. He's so cute, isn't he?
He's adorable. And he just hates on him for no reason.
Yumeji.
Yumeji.
Yep. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention Otaru's other voice in J again was Mona Marshall. Does that name ring a bell?
One? No.
You're seeing Digimon.
Yes.
Izzy.
Shoot, which character is Izzy?
The small one was the computer skills.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Yeah, that one. And she's the one who took over for Ryoko in the Tenchi Muyo series.
Oh, nice.
Nice, but nowhere near as good as the
Obviously.
and it's, well, unfortunately, if there's one downside with Mona is she almost never changes her voice.
Oh, she's one of those. It's too recognizable.
Way too recognizable. It's like, yeah, you hear it, you're like, oh, I can recognize it. She just tweak it. But the other thing is, though, she's not like a Nicole Sullivan who can add nuance to each of her roles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where you're more looking at the character that she just happens to be playing. Mona, again, she's a good actress, but it feels more like she's. How can I do this without being insulting? Because I don't want to.
It doesn't have that much range.
Exactly. Although the funny thing is, you know what one of her first acting gigs was? She was the original pilot voice for Penny from Inspector Gadget.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I remember those.
Yeah, she was the original voice for Penny, and then Cree Summers took over.
Oh, of course, Cree Summers. Cree Summers great, though.
Oh, basically, she's the go-to voice actor when it comes to voicing young boys, although her repertoire is extended to include brassy women.
Brassy.
She did voices in Dot Hack and Wolves Rain.
What? Who'd she play in Wolves Rain?
Is
it that
Toboe? Toboe.
Oh, you said it right.
All right.
Oh, I didn't know that was played by a girl.
Yep, and she's also been one of the actors who still does regular stuff in South Park. She's done a lot of the female roles, and she's the one who took over for Kyle's mom after Mary Kay Bergman's suicide.
Oh.
Yes, and she was in she was also in Chobits. She was Minoru.
I don't remember
that. Let me.
I'm lucky I remember Chi.
Well, she is the main character.
Yeah, exactly.
She's a tech expert. The one that
not the guy one. I'm guessing it's the girl one.
Hold on. No, the guy one. He's the child prodigy character, Mr.
Oh, okay, so it's somebody different that I'm thinking about. Okay.
Yeah.
There was another person who knew about the robots, and the reason I know him is because of his voices the video game character.
Okay. She's but again, yeah, that's mostly a lot of her repertoire and all that. And I'm just double checking any other voices. Oh yeah, I didn't mention it. For Lime, she was Julie Madalena. She's been stuff like but she was Yumi in Chobits. A lot of these have also done Chobits.
Very popular.
Yep. In Tenchi Muyo, she was the character of Sakuya in Tenchi in Tokyo. That's the character no one likes. She was She was the character Mayuka from Tenchi the movie 2. That was the girl from the future claimed to be Tenchi's daughter.
Oh, I've never seen the series.
Oh, you should. Not as much of a prolific roles. She was in Ghost in the Shell, Standalone Complex.
Oh.
Yeah. A lot of voice directing. She's the one who does the Toonami Asia dub of Dragon Ball Super. As in, yeah, she's one of those who, yeah. Those of you who don't know, outside of America, you have the basically the equivalent of the Hong Kong dubs.
Mm-hmm.
Just basically the Canadian dub.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty much what it is, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, and I did mention this. The voice of Faust, I don't know if you recognize this name, Paul Dobson.
You said Paul?
Paul Dobson. He also he's one of the Dobson brothers, Michael and Brian.
Nope.
Oh, you ever seen Ranma 1/2?
No.
Oh, what about Inuyasha?
No.
Oh, you ever seen the show? You ever seen the show Reboot?
No.
Ah.
Is that it? You're gonna name the entire list?
I'm trying to. I'm just. Okay. I've seen other things, but I know you probably would never seen those shows. Ah. Oh, never mind. I recognize a lot of his roles, but for
Paul Dobson, right?
Paul Dobson again, he's of the Dobson brothers, including Brian and Michael Dobson. But in J again, Faust also was voiced by Jamieson Price.
Jamieson Price, I know.
Oh, you do know? What do you know him from?
I don't remember, but I just know the name.
But yeah, he was the J again voice for Faust.
Yeah. I loved his voice.
And I think it works for after he's gone through his change.
Yes, it definitely does.
Oh, I didn't mention the second voice for Cherry and the voice for Baiko was Nicole Oliver. You ever seen My Little Pony?
No.
Never. She was Princess Celestia in My Little Pony.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the princess-looking one, or the queen-looking one, right? White.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. Yes. And she was Queen Marlena and the Sorceress in the 2000s He-Man.
She was the Queen Sorceress, you said, right?
Yep. And never mind, not that. But yeah. She was the Queen and the Sorceress. Yeah. So again, she's done a bunch of stuff as well, and again, so many who's who of anime voice actors. The voice for Tamasubare was Ellen Kennedy. Hasn't really done that many roles, it looks like.
I don't recognize it. Oh, yeah. Paul Dobson. He was in Powerpuff Girls Z. He had a lot of minor roles.
You knew about Powerpuff Girls Z. I didn't know you knew about that.
Yeah. I only watched the dub though, which.
Well, same here.
But I'm not saying like the dub sucks as in sucks, but what sucks what they did in the dub is that I believe they took out some episodes.
No, I don't think so.
No, I feel there was something different, and I don't remember what that is. Well, I know they do this thing where they change the openings.
Yeah, basically, these are most of these actors are all pros of the Ocean Group productions.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, I want my second opening. It's supposed to be on this episode.
Right. Oh, I should also point out, and J again was actually done by the Anamaze group.
Oh.
That's
I haven't heard of that group.
No, that's one of the biggest names in anime dubbing lately.
Listen, I'm still learning, okay?
Well, they originally went by, they're the ones. Oh, wait, never mind. Anamaze actually did close down, actually.
Oh.
But yeah, they were the ones who did Cowboy Bebop, Code GS, Wolf's Rain, Ghost in the Shell.
That makes sense. because the quality of their voice dubs are really, really good.
Yeah, they did a lot of stuff for Genon Entertainment and Bandai. I mean, Big O,
Bandai.
Cyborg and Cyborg 009, El Hazard, Fushigi Yugi, Adventures of the Mini Goddess. You've heard of that one?
No, it's a funny name.
Oh, you should look it up. It's a spin-off of the anime Oh My Goddess.
Oh, I know of Oh My Goddess. I didn't know they had a spin-off, but of course they do. If there's money, there's going to be spin-offs, you know, what people don't think actually happens.
It's the Chibi spin-off.
Oh, they have a Chibi spin-off?
That's what it is.
Is it annoying Chibi? Or is it funny, cute Chibi? Because sometimes Chibis are annoying.
I'm not exactly sure. It's been so long since I've seen it.
Dang it.
I used to have a whole external drive full of anime stuff, but my dad told me to erase it all. When I was living in his house, I had to erase it.
Dang it.
I know, sorry.
It's fine.
But yeah, though, but seriously, so many people got their start in that company. Laura Bailey, Troy Baker, J.B. Blanc, Steve Bloom, Johnny Young Bosch, Robert Axelrod, rest in peace. That was Lord Zed from Power Rangers.
Oh.
Yeah. Allison Cord. Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston.
Breaking Bad.
Oh.
He started doing dubbing at first.
What the heck?
In fact,
man, I'm just kidding.
In fact, did you know that he actually did some of the monster voices for Power Rangers, and it was actually through him that they actually named Billy, the Blue Ranger. His last name was Cranston after him, which makes it so funny once he actually was invited to play Zordon in the reboot movie.
I didn't know that. I didn't even know he was in the reboot movie either.
He was Zordon in the reboot movie.
Wow.
That's why it was him coming full circle. And he acknowledged that. He said, I did the voices originally. Billy was named after me.
Aw.
Hey, want to know a different anime I would like to recommend you check out?
Sure.
It'll be a lot shorter. Trust me. The Armitage stuff.
The what?
Armitage the Third.
Armitage?
Armitage the Third.
I've heard of that series.
Yeah, you have Polymatrix and Dual Matrix.
Are you recommending it to me because it has Bryan Cranston in it?
No. Actually, no. I'm recommending it to you because it's one of my favorites, and my Jewel character was very much based off of the main character.
I can see.
Well, but she's basically, it's basically the whole idea of being realistically human robots.
Oh, it's an OVA.
Well, it was an OVA that got compiled into a movie version that had Elizabeth Berkley and Kiefer Sutherland as the main voices.
So you want me to see the movie or the series or both?
Both, plus the sequel series Dual Matrix, which was another movie.
Okay, so do I watch the anime? Do I watch the OVAs first, or the movie first?
Actually, your call.
Really? It doesn't matter?
Not to me. I've actually never. I need to see the OVA myself.
So you only saw the movies?
I've only seen the movie.
Oh, okay.
The other interesting thing, though, is in Dual Matrix, one of the characters named Mouse is voiced by Jar Jar Binks. I'm not kidding. It's that actor.
Oh, I love Jar Jar.
Mm-hmm. I'm double checking what the.
Everybody hates Jar Jar, but I love Jar Jar.
Yeah. Ahmed Best. And to the point where she says, "You bastard, son of a bitch! I'll get my revenge. I swear it." But yeah, again.
Cool. It's on Funimation.
Oh, good. But yeah, and also Juliette Lewis would also voice Naomi Armitage, the main character in Dual Matrix.
Wait, can you say that one more time? I wasn't listening.
Okay. In the OVA, the main character Naomi Armitage is voiced by Joyce Kurtz. Elizabeth Berkley in the Polymatrix movie compilation, and then Juliette Lewis in Dual Matrix.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the other main character, Ross Syllabus, he's voiced in both the OVA and Dual Matrix by Skip Stelrich, and in Polymatrix compilation, it was Kiefer Sutherland.
Okay, cool. Funimation has the episodes and the movies. But the weird thing is that Polymatrix comes up first, and then Dual Matrix.
But then Polymatrix, does it mention Elizabeth Berkley and Kiefer Sutherland?
No.
Then they might be calling it Polymatrix, but it might not be Polymatrix.
No, I mean, like, it doesn't mention anything. It just says,
Hold on, I'm on there right now. Oh, no, that's the OVA. That's the OVA.
No. If you go...
I see it. Yeah. Unfortunately, I unsubscribed a while ago because they're wrapping up their stuff.
Mm-hmm. You mean...
they're transferring to Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I didn't read about that yet. I really should, because I don't want to mess up, like, what one time when my app was like, hey, you got 4 other apps, we're going to put them all together. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to do this right. And I did it wrong, because I did it.
No, I did it right. Now, do you have a Crunchyroll account?
Yes.
Then you're not going to be offered the 60-day free, time.
Dang it.
I know exactly how I felt. And, Armitage is not on Crunchyroll yet.
Okay, so how are they going to do this? If I have a Crunchyroll and I have a Funimation, what are they going to do?
You just need to, no, you're not. They recommend you drop one, the Funimation one.
They recommend I drop the Funimation one?
Because that is closing down eventually.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I have to screenshot all of the anime and then try to find it on Crunchyroll.
But they're not all there yet.
I know. This is just for future reference because I know I'm not going to finish my list because they got new Chinese anime on here.
But yeah, like I said, I would recommend you check it. You check it out and everything.
I will. I definitely will.
And hopefully we'll get to an episode sooner than this.
Oh yeah, I movie binge on my days off.
So yeah, it's just a 4 OVA for the original one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just let me know, and we'll have another one. So thank you so much for indulging me and checking that out. Again,
no problem. More anime, more happiness.
Yep, and everyone, thank you for hearing us talk about it all, and we'll see you on the next one, whenever that'll be.
Bye.
Take care.